What's cracking, guys? Omar Aesop here once again with the man himself, Jake.
Yep.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro? How we doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
I'm actually doing 100%.
Yeah.
We're taking a look at a subscriber. Quentin, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Quentin.
And he's a peach boy.
Yeah.
But beyond that, beyond just the looks and the great booty, he's a powerlifter with a very respectable squat. He damn near squats 3 times body weight. What was it? It was 163 body weight. You squatted
468 or 212.5 kilos.
Yeah. Almost 3 times. You know what's serious when he brings in the kilos?
Yeah, very strong.
You were talking to me, dude, just the other day. You said, oh man, I got some knee issues. I said, you know what? Fuck it. That's unacceptable. You got to squat 500.
It's on its way.
And I said, let's talk to Jake. What Jake is going to do now is take an evaluation, take a look. This is kind of like a case study. Individuals have specific problems. Jake is going to see if he can figure it out as it relates to Quentin, fix it for him, and then we'll film an outro just describing everything. If you guys like this style of content, make sure to like the damn video and leave a comment below. But without further ado, let's get right into the evaluation.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Jake Noel here, and I'm here with Quentin, and what we're looking at today, we're going to go over with Quentin how to improve some knee pain that he's been having. He's been powerlifting now for about 3.5 years. He's a terrific squatter and has what looks like a really great squat, but Quentin is having some pain in his right knee when he's squatting right now, and when we look at his squat from the front, we're seeing that it looks really great. He has a better squat than almost anybody I work with. But we finally were able to figure it out with a little bit of assessment that what we have going on is some forward bar travel, and it's overloading the quads and the knees and not getting him using his hips properly when he's squatting. So what we're going to do today is give him a couple steps he can take. We're going to give him some mobilization, corrective exercise, and then also some cueing, so some thought processes that he can use to improve this so that we can get him squatting pain-free. And then we're going to give him some homework to do for a couple of weeks, check back and see how he's feeling. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some forward bar travel. And what that can do is, instead of the bar, so we want to see the bar coming straight up and down in his squat. And what we're seeing with Quentin is that it's got some forward travel to it. And that's loading the front of his feet, and it's pushing his knees too far forward. So we're seeing too much knee travel. And what happens when we get that forward knee travel is it loads the quads and the knees a lot, and it doesn't load the hips and the glutes as much as it should. So he's got an imbalance where he's favoring his quads, and he has kind of long femurs, and collectively it's just adding up to a lot of strain on his knees. And his heels are even coming up off of the floor just a little bit. And so he's not keeping his whole foot flat on the floor. He's going to try to fix it now that he heard me saying that. But you can see that the weight of the bar is loaded forward, lots of quads, not a lot of glutes and hamstrings, and it's causing him to tip forward. All of that collectively is putting too much strain on his knees. Okay, so we start with mobilization, and we just have a couple tools we're going to use for this. We need a lacrosse ball, and then we're using a 25-pound dumbbell. A light dumbbell is the moral of the story, and we're going to get Quentin laying down, face down. Oops. And we're going to put the lacrosse ball right in that spot I just showed, kind of around the top of the knee, and he's just looking for areas of tenderness here. A lot of times, just body weight is not quite enough to really get the release we want. So we're going to put the dumbbell on top, have him hold it with his hand, and then he's going to bring his foot up and down, almost like he's doing a hamstring curl. And he's just looking for areas of tenderness. You've seen these videos before where we're releasing tight musculature. It's the same principle. He's not going fast, and he's not looking to excite a problem. He's not going fast, and he's not looking to excite a problem. He's looking to release the tender area. So we're going to make sure that we roll both sides. He already did his right side, which is the side that gave him a lot more tenderness. We're not surprised by that because that's the side that has the injury. It's just always a good idea to do both because you can always be surprised to find out that maybe you have an injury in waiting on the other side, or there's a tightness that's causing an imbalance from one side to the other. So always do both. But he did feel a lot more tenderness on the side that is the one that's injured. Okay, so we've mobilized the front of the quad, the area that was giving him the trouble. It's been mobilized, and now we're going to activate the glutes, which is what we want to bring into the squat. So he's using his quads a little too much. We want to get him using his glutes better, and so we're going to activate those. We're going to kind of strike while the iron is hot, because he's gotten the release that he needs, and so we're going to give his nervous system kind of a heads up like, hey, use the glutes now. And we're going to do that with the glute bridge, which we do all the time, and we've seen that one before. What we're going to do is push out against the band. He doesn't have an internal, and bring his hips up in the air, yep. He doesn't have any internal knee rotation at all in his squat, so that's not the issue. So here we're not using this as a way to cure an internal rotation. Instead, we're just trying to get the glutes to activate. And there's another way we can do that as well other than the glute bridge. So come on down and let's show that. So we're just going to have him hang onto a platform, push his knees open against the band, and then I want him to roll his pubic bone up and squeeze his butt cheeks together. And you're just flexing your glutes, just like you flex a bicep when you were a kid, and you just try to make it burn. That's exactly what we're trying to accomplish. So let's see that. And again, unlike some of the other glute training videos that we've done, this isn't about curing an internal rotation issue. He doesn't have any internal rotation. Here we're just using this as an activator to get the glutes to fire, and then we're going to integrate that into his squat. Okay, and you feel your butt cheeks lots and lots? Oh, yeah. Yeah, good. Good, yep, and you can see that pelvis rolling it up as hard as you can, sort of rolling that up. There it goes. And then relax and do it again. Right. Very good. Yeah, do that 2 more times. Mm-hmm. So we have released the tightness in the knee. We have activated the glutes, and now we're going to give him the specific mechanic we want him to improve on, which is pushing back with the hips when he squats a little bit better. So what we're going to teach him today is a good morning. But it might be a little different than the good morning a lot of people are used to. In this good morning, we're not trying to reach way back and let our chest come forward. Instead, I just want him to focus on setting up, keeping his chest facing as much forward as he can, breaking at the hips, and then coming back. And what we're going to see is that his chest will not move in space. It'll stay in the same position. It's not going to move anywhere. All of the movement is going to come from the hips. See it. And we'll expect him to have a hard time with this because this is what he is struggling with during his squatting. So I'm going to give him some external cues to help him figure it out. And the first thing I'm going to do is just keep my hand on his chest and tell him not to move his chest, only to move his hips. There we go. The second thing I'm going to do is tell him, pretend there's a string pulling his butt straight back. Don't let his chest collapse. And those tend to work. There he goes. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I feel it.
Now you feel it. There we go. Right. He's going to keep his knees open, and he's going to load up his heels a lot on this drill. That's not exactly how he would squat, but we're using this as a corrective drill. So we're going to correct the fact that he comes too far forward on his feet by training his body to push way back on his feet. There you go. That was a great rep. You're feeling it now, huh? Yeah. There you go. Do 2 more for me. And so we had loaded this a little bit too much. We just took a little bit of weight off, and he was able to get a much better response. We're not training this hardcore power lifter, grip it and rip it. If you can do it light, you should do it really heavy. We're training it up to the ability for him to feel the improved mechanic that we're trying to create, and that's what we did today. Good job, man. So we have released the area that's tight in the quad. We have helped him activate his glutes and hamstrings with the corrective good morning type drill. And now we need to integrate all that into his squat to make sure that it sticks when he does the full range of motion movement. So this is, again, a cueing situation. I want him to think about certain things when he's squatting to help him improve. So what we're going to think about doing is he already was doing a good job of opening up at the knees, which a lot of people are not, but he was really killing that. So I want him to continue to think that. But now what I also want him to do is I want him to think about loading. There we go. And now what I want him to do is I want him to think about loading the slingshot of the hips. And so that's around this side. We're going to look at it. Okay. What I want him to do is open up the knees, think about this part of his glutes firing, push out his knees, and reach back into that movement. And I want him to sit back into those muscles, staying with his body weight about 60% on his heels, 40% on his forefoot. And if he shifts onto the front of his foot, he wrong, so we're going to correct that. It's not okay. Stay on the heels. And there at the very bottom, I want you to focus on staying on the heels. Sit back. There it goes. So we're going to give him pause squats to help him in the hole learn that mechanic and learn that position.
Which is what I actually did today.
Yep. All right, perfect. And it didn't hurt today, as you recall, right? Yeah, so down he goes, sit in the position, and then up he goes. So we're going to slow down that positioning in the hole to give him the chance to learn the positional isometric that we need to keep him from hurting himself. There you go. That's really great. That looks good. Okay, let's do it with some weight. Okay, so here we go into some real squats. We're gonna cue him to open his knees, push back into the slingshot of his hips, and make sure that his feet are staying on the floor, 60% of the load on his heels, 40% on the forefoot. So let's see it. Oh, and we're giving him pauses today. Go ahead. And I want you to pause for 2 seconds and make sure your weight is distributed properly in the hole. Down you go. 1, 2, straight up. That's all right. It's not going to be perfect the first time. It's okay. Okay, and now just keep the eyes up just a little, right? Knees not traveling forward, eyes up, straight up. That's better. Yeah, that's much better. Not traveling forward, straight up. Good. Push back, open, straight up. Watch that forward knee travel. Good job. 2 more, watch the forward knee travel. Good, 1 more. That's a good one right there. Yep, good.
Well, guys, that is all the time we have. Let's break it down. Jake, what were the issues?
Yeah, so today our knees were giving us trouble from forward bar travel on the squat. We worked on getting the glutes to fire, getting the hamstrings to fire, releasing some of the tenderness in the knee. And then most importantly for Q here was just getting it so that he was cueing and thinking about the movement properly. That always trumps just about anything else you can do. Just bring some skill to your movement and improve the quality, which is what we did today. And we're looking forward to this really getting him better in the future.
Now, no bullshit. You're under no pressure whatsoever, even though you're rocking one of my shirts. How do you feel, Quentin, before and after? Don't bullshit us.
Absolutely felt better. Like first time I did it, when we were testing it out, I felt the knee pain on my right knee. And after when we tried the different cues, it definitely felt like no pain. The knee wasn't as shaky as it was before. It felt great.
Yeah, better stability, bigger loads, really helped him out a lot. And that's what happens when you really focus on just developing your skill sets, bringing some actual skill to powerlifting, thinking about it like a sport, and developing your abilities. And here we have a prime case of what can be done when you get better.
And I think that's super important is that Quentin's a humble dude. He squats damn near 3 times body weight on the squat, but he still took those cues, incorporated it, it felt better. And that just shows a lot of progress on your part, dude. We're gonna link, where can people find you, Jake?
You can find me at gainsnotpains.com, and then find me on the gram at gainsnotpains, underscores in between the words, Z on the gains, S on the pains.
And if you want booty appreciation, follow Quentin.
Instagram, you can find me QT and then powerlifting.
QT powerlifting.
QT
I knew it.
powerlifting.
I was just shaking his head. He hates all our Instagram handles. What's going on?
He's a hater.
Hey, shout out to my cameraman, Else
Yeah.
Photo.
Right.
Make sure to follow him.
Yeah.
Else underscore.
Else underscore photo. Else
photo.
underscore photo. Guys, that is the video. Thank you guys for being on. Make sure to like the damn video.
Like our video.
Like the video.
Gotta
Else,
like it.
How many, else, how many do we want? He's saying so crazy. He's one of the shit. 1, 3, 4?
250,000.
$250,000.
A 250,000 likes. And we'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace!
There you go.